Good morning reception and welcome to Thursday's maths lesson. We're going to begin warming up our brains by recognising some shapes. Can you tell me what shapes I have along the bottom? I have rectangles, squares, circles and triangles. And what I would like you to do is count how many of each shape is on the train. So how many rectangles, how many squares, how many circles and how many triangles can you see on that picture? Pause the video and we'll go through the answers in a minute. Right, are we ready? Let's start with the first shape, our rectangles. Can you count how many are with me? We have 1, 2, 3 and 4. We have 4 rectangles. Okay, how many squares did I have? Just one square. How many circles did I have? 1, 2, 3. I had 3 circles. And finally, how many triangles did I have? 1 triangle. Great work, everybody. So today is the 21st of January 2021 and our skill today is to partition numbers to 12. That means we're going to find out what numbers make 12. You are going to need a few things for today's lesson. You're going to need your book. You're going to need 12 counting objects, not more than 12, not less than 12, just 12 counting objects. And you are going to need this here. Can you remember? We've looked at this at school. Can you remember what it's called? This is a part-part whole model. Before you pause and go and get your things, I'm going to show you how to make a part-part whole model at home. So, this is a part-part whole model and it has 3 sections. The first section is the whole and this is the biggest section. This is where all of your counting objects are going to go. Next we have 2 smaller sections. These are called the parts. And you can make this 2 ways. The first way is just to simply draw it onto a piece of paper. The second way, if you want a bit more of a physical practice, is to get a large dinner plate to represent the whole and 2 small bowls to represent the parts. We're going to use this part whole model to help us write our number sentences, and Mochi is joining us today with some of his friends to see if we get our questions right. So pause the video now, go and grab everything that you need, meet me back here and we'll start our lesson. Okay, so for this first question, I don't want you to do anything. All I would like you to do is listen really carefully. I'm going to explain the first one together, and then afterwards we're going to do 3 questions together. So, I have some butterflies. Can you count them with me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. 12 is our number of the week. And I have put all of my butterflies into that whole section. Now to find out what numbers make 12, I have 2 things to do. Step 1 is I'm going to move some of my butterflies into that red part. Down they go. How many butterflies are in the red part? Fantastic, 2. So I'm going to write down 2. Now I'm going to add something to 2. I'm going to add the rest of my butterflies. So now step 2 is I'm going to move the rest of my butterflies into the blue section. Let's count how many there are together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. I'm going to write down 10. That's all there is to it. I moved some butterflies into the red section, and then I moved the rest of the butterflies into the blue section, and I discovered that 2 add 10 equals 12. Let's say our number sentence together. 2 add 10 equals 12. Great. Now, if you wrote it the other way round, 10 add 2 equals 12, you would also be correct. Before we do our questions together, there's something really important I want you to remember. This only works if you move all of your counting objects. You cannot leave some in that whole section. Okay, so when you're ready, make sure in front of you, you have your part whole model and you have your counting objects already in the whole section. Ready? Oh, and Mochi thinks we did a great job. Well done. Okay, these are the ones we're going to do together. Question number 1. I now have 12 ladybirds. Can we count them together? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Always good to check. Now we're going to do those 2 parts together. If you need to pause the video at any time, make sure you do. Step 1. I am going to move some of my ladybirds into the red part. Down they go. How many ladybirds are in the red section? 3. So I'm going to write 3. And then I'm going to add. Can you pause the video and make sure you have done the same thing that I have done? Okay, now let's move on to step 2. I'm going to move the rest of my ladybirds into the blue section. Down they go. Let's count how many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm going to write 9. I have learnt that 3 add 9 equals 12. Pause the video and complete your second step. Okay, if you wrote 9, add 3 equals 12, remember that would also be correct. Let's see if Mochi and his friends agree with us. Can you give me a whoop?
Woo!
They do, they think they've done a great job and they're doing the victory dance. Can you give a victory wiggle? Well done, everyone. Okay, let's move on to our second question together. Right, you might need to pause the video actually and move all of your counting objects into the whole section. Okay, now I have 12 beetles. Can we count our 12 beetles together? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. Perfect. None of them have run away. That's great. Let's find out what other numbers put together make 12. So, step 1. I'm going to move some of my beetles into the red part. Down they go. Can you tell me how many beetles are in that red part? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to write down 4. And I'm also going to write my add symbol because I know I'm now adding. Pause the video and complete step 1. Okay, now let's move on to step 2. I'm going to move the rest of my beetles into that blue section and count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm now going to write down number 8. I have learnt that 4 add 8 equals 12. Pause the video and complete step 2. Now if you wrote 8 plus 4 equals 12, you would also be correct. Okay, let's see if Mochi and his friends think we've done a good job. Can we give a bit of a whoop and a victory wiggle? Woo-hoo! Victory wiggle. We're doing great. Now we're going to go on to our last question together. Pause the video, put all of your counting objects back into the whole section, and let's find out what else can make 12. Right, so question 3. We now have some bumblebees. Count them with me. We're just going to make sure we've got 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. And let's go through our 2 steps together. Step 1. Move some of your objects into the red section. How many bumblebees are in the red part? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to write down 5 and my add symbol. Pause the video and complete section 1. Now step 2. Step 2. Can you remember what we do next? We move the rest of the bumblebees, make sure it's all of them so there's nothing left in that whole section, into the next part. How many bumblebees are in the blue part? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now I'm going to write down 7. And I have learnt that 5 add 7 equals 12. Can we say our number sentence together? 5 add 7 equals 12. Pause the video and complete step 2. Now, if you wrote 7 and 5 equals 12, you would also be correct. Let's see if Mochi and his friends think we've done a good job. We're going to give a whoop and a victory wiggle. Woo! Are you ready? Victory wiggle. We've done so well. Now, Ruby class, that was a lot of learning. But I know that you are more than capable of doing it, and I think that you have done such a good job if you've stayed with me till the end. Can you give yourselves a really big pat on the back for today's lesson? Whew, amazing. Now, for some of you, that is enough and you now need a little break, and that's okay. For some of you, you might want to do a little bit more. So, if that's the case, I would like you now to go off and I'd like you to see what else you can find, what other numbers you can find that make 12 using your part-part whole model. I've put the steps on our steps to success so you don't forget, and you can rewind the video and watch it back if you need to. I hope you join me for tomorrow's lesson. We're going to play a little fun maths game together. Well done for today everyone, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!